Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Tim here. Just want to bring a quick market update on the Bitcoin chart. So, the last video was a few days ago on Saturday. Today is Wednesday. Um, I left you with this chart on Saturday, and so I wanted to update it for everybody because we've had some pretty big price movements. Make sure you like, subscribe, and in the comment section below, there will be a link to Bit2Next if you guys need a good exchange to trade on. So let's get into the video. Um, the main thing that I left you with last time was this potential retrace zone right here. And um, we were actually, let's see, we were right about in this area around here. So this is what we were looking at. And this was the 786, 886 area. We had a daily level, a weekly level in this zone. So I thought we would at least get a retrace, and that ended up playing out pretty well. So we got a nice move down here, and then even bigger move down there. So from the exact 886 level right there, a huge move down, and then we hit this sloping trend line, which was a good, breakout, retest, then boom, new all-time high. We get inauguration of the president. So really, really awesome. And one thing I did mention was, we wanted to look for shorts up here, and obviously price has not got there yet, and that's totally fine. The other thing I did mention was the possibility of a swing failure, and it's really interesting because if you go on here, we did a swing failure of that high, just like we did a swing failure of this low. So it's really actually nice how proportionate the chart looks. We took liquidity from the high, we took liquidity from the low. Now we're kind of chopping around in what I call no man's land. There's nothing really going on here. And so in these times of no man's land, that's where we need to prepare for the next move and plan it out. So I mentioned that down here would be a great area for longs, and I still think that's the case. But because we did break the all-time high, this needs to be updated. So this is not the 618 anymore. We need to drag this to the new high that it made right there. And if you look at that, check out this point of control. So for those of you that aren't aware, the point of control is the area with the most volume traded on the chart in a given zone. So for this range, you can see the highest volume block is in this area, and it has this red line, and that line matches perfectly with the 618 and golden pocket. So we're going to move this up a bit into this zone right here. And what I like about this area too is if price quickly moves into this area and bounces, this wick will have its liquidity taken. So especially if we can close above the wick after it makes that move down, I think that would look very positive. So I'm going to go on to this other Bitcoin chart just because I have it more updated. But the same thing still applies. If we do not go down there, and if we go up and make a new all-time high, the same kind of rejection area is still valid up here. That's what I'm still looking at. Looks like it's around 113,500 to 115. So this range up here, sometimes this fib gets hit on these deviations, but it's less likely. So look around in this area. But I wanted to show you a little bit more intraday price action. So if you're not following on Twitter, make sure you do. I'll leave a link below. But I posted yesterday in this area that we should look for shorts and for a price retracement to the downside. And the reason for this is because we did a swing failure of the all-time high, did a quick move down, and then retraced up. Now, usually when we do these moves like that, it usually breaks this low one more time. And so from this golden pocket, we did have a really nice move down so far. I personally did short that. Stops are at entry now. We're doing good. But what I would say to look at short term is if we do come down a little bit, this is the golden pocket of this move up, right? So I could see us sweeping this liquidity right here, maybe doing something like this. So some intraday moves here, like this could be a good trade. Um, but if we just slowly go down and it's not an aggressive move, it's probably not worth taking. So this could be a intraday scalp right here. But ideally, and I mentioned this on Twitter today, is ideally I would love for price to just make its way down here to our point of control area. That would be my favorite scenario. Um, and I would like that to come down there. So if it does, it's a good spot for longs. And, I'm not promising that this will play out and make a new all-time high from here. I think it'll at least get a decent bounce. We're in kind of some shaky waters because we did do a swing failure of the all-time high, meaning all this range liquidity was swept on that high. So now it's up to price to determine if it wants to, come down and build a new range lower. So we really need buyers to step in, especially in this area, if we want to save this range and use it as support for the next leg up. So that's really important, and we'll see what the market decides when we get down there. But probability wise, this is a good spot to put some risk on. If it doesn't hold, we have the 786, and I would kind of say this whole area, I would want a stop loss kind of deeper, maybe down here. But that 786 area with the yearly open is a very important level too, because if we flip the yearly open to the downside, we could be going lower. One thing I do want to mention is there's a CME gap around this area too that never was filled. So keep that in mind. But we'll talk about that more if price breaks down. And then let's look at ETH really quick. I know some of you guys have ETH. So ETH, I was watching the last day and a half since the inauguration, and it's been flirting with this yearly open over and over. And this was actually a pretty good spot to short because we had the yearly open along with this point of control. And not only that, but you can see these wicks here, wick, all these wicks down here. So this was a good SR level. And as you can see, we broke above it briefly and then came back down, which is okay. And the other thing that I wanted to mention too about ETH is look at your Twitter timeline right now. Everybody's hating on ETH. Like Vitalik did some crazy thing with the ETH Foundation. I don't really know too much about it, but people are tired of ETH just ranging and underperforming. And I think the salt to the wounds was when XRP just went crazy, and all the ETH people who have been making fun of the XRP people for years are now super salty. And some of them are even selling their bags and stuff. So I like to hear negative news about this coin before I take a long, because I am a contrarian. So I want to see price break this kind of trend line structure that we have right here. Right now it's holding, maybe even broke down and retesting it. But if it does come down here, I think this will be in the similar time that Bitcoin goes to its point of control. And I would like to look for long positions here. So the first area of interest is the golden pocket, which is right here. And the second area of interest, which might have a higher hit rate, is this val down here. And that has a TR pocket deviation of this range as well. So it could be something like that. The main characteristic of difference would be if it's a very fast move, it would do a swing failure and take this liquidity and then just like shoot up right away. So if it does that, then I expect this golden pocket to hold. But if it goes slow down, um, and it takes this liquidity, then I think it would kind of chop around, do one more little low, and then take off. So two kind of ways of playing it. For me, I personally like to um, just kind of enter at the first one, have a deeper stop loss, stress free, just let it ride. And if that's the case, I would target up here, this VA up here, and that would be the opposite side of the range deviation. And if we are bullish, you can see this kind of structure on Ethereum, very corrective triple wave kind of structure. This could be a ABC right here, and we could break these highs. So I'm rooting for you guys of the ETH community. I hope we moon, but this is definitely a good spot where you want to put some risk on. I saw a cool tweet also today from Trader Main where he was saying like, we did a swing failure on the exact day of the news event, which was the inauguration. And then we've been having some pretty good news. We freed Ross. There's going to be some banking stuff changed so banks can have crypto on their balance sheets. We just had a new SEC commissioner who's very pro crypto. And despite all these news events, nothing really made the market pump that hard. And so whenever you see good news with not a lot of reaction in the markets, that's usually a little bit bearish. So, a good little 6-7% move down, clear some leverage, and then maybe we get some executive orders about crypto down here, and that makes price move up. But yeah. Anyways, guys, I hope this video was informative for you. Kind of how my brain conceptualizes the charts with everything going on. We don't have to catch every single move. We just need to be patient, catch the ones that count. So if you want to get in on trading, go ahead, sign up on Bit2Nex. Really, really good exchange. You don't need KYC or VPN, so you can access it anywhere in the world. So that link will be down below. And there's also a link to my Telegram. I haven't been posting too much, but I will be posting some signals in there completely free. So go ahead and join that. And as always, have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video.